Hey y'all, Weegee here. Quick, what's the #1 cure for virginity? Right, books. Everyone knows that book reading is the leading cause of all things sex, which is great for me because they make this shit about virginity too! Oh, the sick irony.
This is worthless. Five Nights at Freddy's is an indie horror game series made by Scott Cawthon. You work a dangerous minimum wage job you don't have a break from for 6 hours with the constant threat of robots yelling at you. So a minimum wage job. It's a good time for a while, but when you finish all the 80+ games, you've got nothing left to do. I mean, I guess you could try to figure out the story.
Who has time for that? I have taxes to not pay.
But what if instead they could write a more condensed and straightforward story that killed at least 3 trees in the process?
A kid turns into a sign in this one.
What do you do when you have a semi-popular indie horror game series? You become Stephen King. All the popular kids are doing it nowadays, and if there's one group of people I know love to read, it's kids. So come with me as I break down all the different releases of these overly long headaches. The Silver Eyes, the first book published. Originally, the cover looked like this, and the font looked like this, and I looked like this. Yeah, this was not ideal. The cover is amazing, yes, but why did they need to format it like this? Clearly, this was a first attempt, which would quickly get remedied. Okay, so this is better, but man, what a downgrade on the cover. This one's so unique and red. I love that you can see the other animatronics in the background. It really reminds me of FNAF 4. And this one's just...
It's just Freddy.
This style of cover would be the normal for the next couple books to come, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
At least you could wear this one like a mask.
Silver Eyes is the most FNAF-feeling book in the original trilogy. The story is about a girl named Charlie going back to her hometown of Hurricane, Utah, to invest the murders of her childhood friend Michael. Unrelated to this Michael, or this one, or this one. This is the definitive FNAF story. You got robots chasing people, spring-locked deaths, kidnapping.
But why aren't the robots seducing people?
There is a little romance for you sex havers out there, so that's definitely a plus. Overall, it's a pretty good book. Although when I first read it, I was pretty young, so I just kinda skipped through to the good parts. So I didn't like it all that much. But wait, before you call me a bastard, I have read it now, so put your throwing objects down and save them for later. No alternate versions of this book was released, but I do have an audiobook on a CD for some reason.
This is my sex playlist.
It's not much, just a CD with text on it and a plain looking orange box. It is pretty clearly just a default template, but it's still a neat oddity that I'm glad I own.
Now, that was good and all, but where was all the bullshit?
The Twisted Ones takes place where we left off a year later. Charlie is in college now learning about robotics because of course she is. Her dad made this thing. After getting contacted by the police officer from the first book, Clay, she is stuck solving the murders of 3 different people with strangely shaped hickeys.
Oh man, I love sex! Do you believe me yet?
The book ends, spoilers, with Charlie being killed after her dad's house collapses on her, only to reappear a few months later. Only sexier. This book is great, and one of the first times the series explored something a bit wackier in sci-fi. Mainly because of these things.
Get it away from me!
This is an illusion disc. It turns this horrible thing into this horrible thing, and the fans hate it. But I'm not here to talk about this stupid bullshit. I'm here to talk about why the nightmare's on the cover. He's not even in the book unless this is him, but why would nobody mention the stomach mouth?
I'm mad!
After the regular release, a hardcover version came out exclusive to Barnes & Nobles, the best place to buy books in plastic shaped like Family Guy. Inside, there's an exclusive poster. Why wasn't this the cover? Moving on to the last book of the trilogy, where fake Robo Charlie seduces one of the characters. This book is weird, man. They made William Afton, you know, the killer, into this old man in a wheelchair, which is the least threatening kind of person ever. And don't even get me started on how it ends!
I didn't finish it.
I know, I'm a monster. I also liked FNAF World. Sue me. I don't know. I just really wasn't believing what this book was throwing at me. It seemed so random and it all came out of nowhere, but I'll probably get back to it eventually. And who knows, maybe after 12 Hell novels, I'll be used to the bullshit. Once again, the cover is a random variation of Freddy. This one being Funtime Freddy with a weird monochrome look going on. Now, I can't speak on if he's in the book or not, as I never finished it. But I'm pretty sure he isn't.
Who are you?
After the 4th Closet released, a box set featuring all 3 books came out. A nice easy way for people to buy them all. And for fans that already have them all, we have this poster. Oh god, put it back. Please get away from me.
Who approved this art? Someone who read the book? I don't know, maybe the last few chapters explain why this looks so horrible. Well, hey, I heard they're making a graphic novel based on these original books, so why don't we check those out, shall we?
Yeah, these novels are alright, and definitely what I'd call graphic. The art in the first two are so bad. I mean, it's not poster awful, but my god, you couldn't have gotten the colors right? It's even worse in the twisted ones. Why is Springtrap yellow? At least I got the art right in the fourth closet. Wow, they did such an amazing job on this. It just baffles me how it took them so long to get it right. The artist made this book special and actually made me care to finish the fourth closet. It's graphic novel. But seriously, this book is amazing and everyone should read this instead of this. My copy of the twisted ones is wet for some reason. I guess I shouldn't have left it in the fridge.
Damn it!
Released at the same time as the paperback versions are the hardcovers. They are pretty much the exact same except for the color-coded pages in the front and back, a non-soft cover, and of course they were more expensive.
Shut up, we all have hobbies. I could have been killing someone, but instead I bought these books. Count your blessings.
The Freddy Files is a collection of information from the original 5 games. A nice break for all you fourth closet enthusiasts out there. There are 3, technically 4 releases of this book, and yes, I have read them all. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Weegee, did you really read all of the Freddy Files books, but you still haven't finished the fourth closet?
Yeah, that's right.
The covers have all stayed pretty consistent, except for this one got the 2 B's, blue and big. But originally, they were gonna go with this is boring. I mean, it's kind of a new drawing of Withered Freddy, but it's Withered Freddy. What? Luckily, we got this much better representation of the books. It makes you feel like you're a detective doing research on Freddy Fazbear.
What the is this shit?
The book contains renders, game mechanics, Easter eggs, theories, and for some reason, recipes.
Oh, thank God. I've always wanted to know what Foxy tastes like.
The first issue covered the first 5 games, and the second goes up to Ultimate Custom Night. And the third is truly ultimate, going over everything from the mobile game, the VR game, and even the other books. The last book is actually really good. It's well written and goes really in depth, especially for the character encyclopedia.
The second one, on the other hand...
They misspelled Golden Freddy's name.
Please give a shit!
Not only that, but there is a ton of stolen fan art throughout this entire book, and that is a lot less funny. Luckily for us, an updated edition was made to remove all the fan art and to fix a few other things. This was released just before the Ultimate Edition. Why?
Oh man, I f***ing hate trees.
Have you ever been filling out a survey and thought,
Wish this had f***ing bears in it.
The Survival Logbook is one of those kids' activity books with crosswords, funny pictures, and surveys all packaged in with a ghost inside of it.
Damn it, why are my books haunted?
It's also a hand-me-down.
That explains it.
Seemingly belonging to Michael Afton at some point, the book is pretty normal for the most part, just being a simple fun time with a couple lore hints built in. By doing a crossword wrong in this complicated grid thing, you find out someone's name is Cassidy and Evan.
I got Burger King.
I find it strange how even the simple books seem to have earth-shattering lore reveals in them. Next you're gonna tell me the coloring books reveal Foxy is pregnant.
They don't, but would you believe me if I say they did?
Coloring books, every child's favorite method of art creation.
It probably stands for toddlers.
If you look on Amazon, you'll find tons of these things, chock full of stolen fan art and some models. But the 2 that I have are the only official ones. Crayola, you know, can't spell Crayola without cry. This one's fine. It's a little small and kinda basic, and all the art is taken from existing sources, but it works. This one, on the other hand, is amazing. We get art of characters we've only seen a few times, and never like this. Some of the art is reused, but that's okay. It only gives you more to color if you're into that. It's longer, nicer to look at, and very well made in general.
Why'd I pay $30 for this one and $15 for this one? And those are all the FNAF books. I was promised sex, and I am sorely disappointed. But seriously, these books are either a fun little FNAF experience on paper, or just a semi-interesting time waster. And I really love them a lot, but I sort of feel like I'm missing something. Huh. Oh yeah. I forgot about how to draw Five Nights at Freddy's. Welcome back to another episode of How Many Copies of Into the Pit does Ella's Weegee own? Let's check that scoreboard.
First revealed in a Steam post, Scott announced he was writing a series of short story collections all set in the FNAF universe.
It is?
Yeah, these books got pretty crazy after the 5th one. A lot of these stories are great, but there's no way I'm breaking down 36 stories, all while making jokes about how not horny they are.
I guess I've just lost my touch.
So I'll just be covering the physical books themselves. Into the Pit was the first book in the series, and it shows. These are some of the weakest stories in the whole series, but most I can excuse since, well, it was the first book released. The cover is definitely my favorite. It shows Springbody popping his little rabbit-ass ears out of the top of the iconic ball pit. It's a great scene. Fetch was next, showing a robot dog in the cover. I smell plagiarism. From the worst to the best, this one kicks ass! All 3 of these stories are amazing. If you just want to get one book, I say this is your best option. 1:35 AM has dolls.
This one does have the record for the all-time best having my favorite story in it, so that's pretty cool.
All the stories here are pretty good, but a little lacking after how amazing Fetch was. For all the people out there who hate owning 3 things, this collection of the first 9 stories was released for, oh god, please let it be Walmart. Oh, thank god.
I'm Team Walmart all the way, man. Barnes & Nobles can suck my dick.
This was so weird. I've looked around the internet, but I've seen no one talking about this oddity. But at least I can say I'm the first at something. After doing a bit of research, I have found that they also made a combination book for the graphic novels, but I just straight up could not find one of these. Step Closer is all about foxes, and by all about, I mean one story. This one's okay, I guess. It's times like these I wish I were reading The Fourth Closet. Combining the first 4 books, this box set was released, and it's the most common one. I've seen this thing everywhere. The price is okay, but these things go on sale all the time, so if you're okay with waiting, then it's a really good entry point for the series. Bunny Call has 2 stories about rabbits, and only one of them is related to sex. I'll give you a hint. Bunny Call and The Man in Room 1280 are near perfect Fazbear Frights stories.
But we all know that middle sibling who ends up talking about virginity novels and getting pregnant instead of being Bunny Call.
Blackbird is the worst book since Into the Pit. Pretty good track record, all things considered. The Real Jake is amazing, but Blackbird and Hide and Seek are just kind of okay. But hey, that's only my opinion. Let's see what the people have to say.
Sir, do you give even one shit about Blackbird?
No.
There you have it.
The Cliffs is the first book since Into the Pit to have a notable cover. This just paints a perfect scene to pique your interest to the most boring story yet. It was going to be this, but that ruins the entire story, so thank God we have bears now. It also has a story featuring the infamous Fazgoo, but let's just skip over that for now. This cover is also notable for being the first human seen on the cover of a FNAF book that wasn't a graphic novel. Is that what you call that?
I thought this was Bonnie. This one does have the record for all-time worst having my least favorite story in it, so that's pretty cool.
Probably the worst book in my opinion, but we all know how worthless that is.
Gumdrop Angel?
What?
Exactly.
Here's another box set. This time it's 1 through 8. Because of course I needed another fetch. I have a whole second season to pitch here. Just like the combination book, I didn't see any talk about this box set before it popped up on Amazon. At first I assumed it was fake or from a second party, but nope, it seems official. The Puppet Carver, or as the first announcement called it, the Pupper Carver. So this book got a lot less interesting.
Where's all the dog murder?
This book is nothing special, but alongside it we got the only exclusive cover for ordering on Books A Million. I'm sorry Walmart, I just need torn paper. It's photo negative with a tear down the middle. As the only one we got, it's a little lame. I wish we could have gotten an exclusive release of the Cliffs with the original cover, or maybe an all new one based on Jump for Tickets or something, but nope, just something I could do at home.
It's exclusive.
Friendly Fish, Jesus! The story is underwhelming. Still good, but I probably hyped myself up a little bit too much from this cover. And the others are just great stories. Moving on. The 11th and final book of the series, sort of, Prankster. The cover here is great and very unique, but the story attached to it sucks! The others are really amazing, but overall this was kind of a weak end to the series. The Felix the Shark 12-book box set. This got delayed 4 times.
How? It's 12 books slapped together in a cheap cardboard case with the only exclusive part of it being available for $5 online when I paid $109! Huh.
The bonus book is a collection of 3 stories that were either too weird or bad or f***ing shit to be considered canon. And while I understand what they mean, some of these feel very unfinished and weird, but them being non-canon allowed me to enjoy them a lot more than something in the flesh.
So the male pregnancy and body swapping was A-okay to release, but the shark animatronic and fan fiction was just way too hot for Freddy's? I really am gonna get laid! And that was Fazbear Frights. Wow. Sure, I dogged on it a little bit, but I seriously think that this is some of the best material ever put out for the franchise. And I know most people only hear about the Fazgoo and the MatPat Mpreg, but for every bad story, there are 3 more great ones. And those were all the FNAF books currently released.
Aside from some Fazbear Frights graphic novels that look... A spiritual successor of sorts to Fazbear Frights is going to be put out this summer, all about the different goings-on in the Pizzaplex. The mall featured in Security Breach, which these covers are definitely getting me very excited for. We also have the next Freddy Files to look out for and a character encyclopedia. But after that, well, I'm not sure. How long can they realistically pump these books out for? And what will they do next if the answer is longer than this second? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Personally, I'm hoping for a 5th closet to not read. You know, reading these books made me think I was going to be irresistible to anything with a crotch, but if I'm being honest, I feel just as unfuckable as ever. I read every book, every sequel, every activity for children. Why can't I get laid? Wait. Oh, son of a bitch!